Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Your Excellency, sir, this state ceremony is convened pursuant to Article 115 of the Constitution for the presidential assent of two Senate bills. The first bill set to receive your presidential assent is the Persons with Disability Bill 2023, Senate Bill number 7 of 2023. This is a private member's bill sponsored by Senator Crystal Asige. The principal object of the bill is to give full effect to Article 54 of the Constitution, which enshrines the rights and dignities of persons with disabilities. In this regard, the bill seeks to repeal and replace the Persons with Disabilities Act Cap 133, enacted in 2003, and to align Kenya's legal framework with the 2010 constitutional norms as well as international best practice. The bill affirms the equal worth and inherent dignity of persons with disabilities and obliges society to embrace substantive inclusion, protection, and empowerment of persons living with disabilities within all spheres of national life. Your Excellency, the bill also proposes to strengthen the institutions that protect disability rights by establishing a revitalized National Council for Persons with Disabilities. This council will be an independent statutory body with greater powers to ensure that the rights of persons with disabilities are upheld and enforced. It will work closely with government agencies and the private sector, and will also be able to carry out investigations and inquiries where these rights have been violated. Sir, the second bill is the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2025. The bill outlines additional allocations to county governments agreed upon by the Senate and the National Assembly during the budget policy statement deliberations. The bill provides for enhanced fiscal transfers to county governments for the financial year 2024-2025, thereby reinforcing the constitutional promise of equitable resource allocation and evolved service delivery. Specifically, it makes provisions for an additional conditional allocation of Kenya shillings 8,417,140,360 from the national government share of revenue, an additional and conditional allocation of Kenya shillings 116,092,724 drawn from proceeds of court-imposed fines, and a further conditional allocation of Kenya shillings 42,1,957,723 sourced from development partners. These allocations are intended to strengthen the financial capacity of counties to discharge their devolved functions effectively, in line with national priorities and intergovernmental agreements. Your Excellency, with both houses of parliament having discharged their law-making mandate in regard to these two bills, Your Excellency, as the head of state and government, is most graciously petitioned to exercise your presidential prerogative as vested in you by Article 115 of the Constitution to assent to the two Senate bills. Sir, may I now invite the following esteemed state officials and representative of persons with disabilities to witness Your Excellency's assent to these bills into law. The Speaker of the Senate, the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Majority Leader of the Senate, the Cabinet Secretary for Labor, please come forward as I call your name. The Cabinet Secretary for Labor and Social Protection, the representative of the Council of Governors, the sponsor of the bill, Senator Crystal Asige, Honorable Senator Jackson Koskei, representing the National Assembly, the Principal Secretary for Parliamentary Affairs, the Solicitor General, the designated representative of the county assemblies, the chair of the Peoples with Disability Committee, and the 2 designated students. Yeah, and the PS for social protection. Chair. Your Excellency, permit me to invite the Clerk of the Senate to present the vellum copies of the bills for Your Excellency's presidential assent.
They need to be seen. Yes.
Yes, Your Excellency, sir, I have the honor to present, in accordance with Article 115 of the Constitution, the Persons with Disabilities Bill 2025 for your assent. The Persons with Disabilities Bill was sponsored by Senator Crystal Asige, who is present with us today, and was read a first time in the Senate on 22nd of March 2023, subsequently passed by the Senate on 21st February 2024, and thereafter by the National Assembly on 16th of January 2025. The Senate considered and approved the National Assembly's amendments, setting the stage for your assent, Your Excellency. The principal object of the bill is to give effect to Article 54 of the Constitution on the rights of persons with disabilities. The bill seeks to repeal and reenact the Persons with Disabilities Act, Cap 133, in order to align it with the new constitutional dispensation. The bill takes a rights-based approach towards inclusion of persons with disabilities in Kenya and societal responsibilities to protect them and to ensure the full realization of their rights under the Constitution. In this regard, the bill specifically promotes equality and non-discrimination by prohibiting all forms of discrimination against persons with disabilities in all spheres of life. It also ensures accessibility by mandating reasonable accommodation in public spaces, in transport, in accessibility, in information and communication technologies. It provides for financial incentives and reliefs, including tax exemptions for employers of persons with disabilities, and provides incentives for accessibility modifications for persons with disabilities. Your Excellency, the bill also strengthens the enforcement mechanisms by introducing penalties for violation of the rights of persons with disabilities. The bill creates a robust institutional architecture headed by a revitalized National Council for Persons with Disabilities, with the overall mandate for the protection of the rights of persons with disabilities, which will operate as an independent statutory body with enhanced powers to enforce disability rights. The restructured council, Your Excellency, shall work with other relevant government agencies and the private sector to advise on and enforce matters related to disability. The council will also conduct inquiries and investigations into violations of the rights of persons with disabilities. Your Excellency, sir, the bill is a milestone in the pursuit of the rights of persons with disabilities in this country. Thank you, Your Excellency. The second bill which we have the honor to present, Your Excellency, is the county.
We finish with this first, or we continue.
Yeah, continue.
The second bill which we have the honor to present, Your Excellency, is the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill 2025. Your Excellency, this bill has been sponsored by Senator Captain Ali Ibrahim Roba, the chairperson of the Senate Standing Committee on Finance and Budget. The bill was published by the Senate on 6th of February and read a first time in the Senate on 4th of March this year, and passed by the Senate with amendments on the 1st of April 2025, and subsequently passed by the National Assembly without amendments on 24th of April 2025, setting the stage again for Your Excellency's assent in accordance with Article 115 of the Constitution. This bill sets out the categories of additional allocations to county governments. It provides that additional allocations constitute funds agreed upon by the Senate and the National Assembly during the consideration of the budget policy statement, to comprise of additional allocations from the national government and development partners required for the performance of transferred functions to county governments from the national government pursuant to Article 187 of the Constitution. Also, additional allocations provided to county governments from the national government's share of revenue, either conditionally or unconditionally pursuant to Article 202(2) of the Constitution, and additional allocations from loans and grants provided by development partners. Your Excellency, the bill stipulates that the National Treasury shall facilitate any agreement between a county government and a development partner, and requires the National Treasury to table the agreements in Parliament before inclusion in the budget policy statement. Your Excellency, the bill provides for additional allocations to county governments for the financial year 2024-2025, so it's a little belated. These additional allocations to county governments are financed either from proceeds of loans and grants from development partners, proceeds of court fines, or the national government's share pursuant to Article 202 of the Constitution. In this respect, Your Excellency, the bill makes available to counties an additional conditional allocation of 8.4 billion from the national government's share, and an additional unconditional allocation of 116 million from proceeds of court fines, and an additional allocation of 42 billion from development partners for the financial year 2024 2025. Upon enactment, the Treasury will be required to transfer these funds to the county governments, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Sir, I request the honorable speakers and other state officials to retreat and take their seats, except the 4 students and Senator Asige. Your Excellency, allow me now to invite you to affix the public seal of the Republic of Kenya to the 2 statutes, entering them into the roll of the laws of the Republic of Kenya on this 8th day of May 2025. In doing this, you will be flagged by the students, the sponsor of the bill, Senator Crystal Asige, plus the other members with her. This affixing of the seal is in accordance with Article 135 of the Constitution, which mandates all presidential actions to be under the hand and seal of the President.
Let's do it one more time. Very good. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Like that. Just do it one more time. Oh. Yeah. Very good. Then I want to say thank you very much for doing this for the people beginning. Take that. Yes. Very good. Yes. Very good.
Today's ceremony to a close, I respectfully request you to hand over a copy of the Act to the Solicitor General If it pleases you, sir, you may also present copies of the bill to Solicitor General for publication, the Cabinet Secretary for Social Protection, sir, as a symbolic gesture of legislative executive independence in the management of public affairs, Your Excellency may graciously present a ceremonial copy of the Act to the Speakers of the Senate and the National Assembly. Present members of Parliament that are present, and all other esteemed state officials and honored guests in attendance. Your Excellency will unveil and display a ceremonial open copy of the Act, while other members present an encased closed copy. Your Excellency, I will kindly ask all the members to retreat and take their seats. Your Excellency, sir. Your Excellency, sir. It is now my high privilege to invite you, sir, to address the nation in marking this, the dawn, marking the dawn of the assenting of the two bills. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it has been my singular honor and duty this morning to sign into law the Persons Living with Disability Bill 2025, a progressive piece of legislation that reaffirms the dignity and rights of all people living with disabilities in Kenya. This community constitutes a significant segment of our population. According to the 2019 National Housing and Census and Population Census, the number of individuals with disabilities above the age of 5 stood at just under 1 million, about 2% of our population, while globally, it is estimated that they represent 15% of the world's population. Although this group forms a critical part of every nation's demographic, they continue to face systemic barriers, including challenges in accessing education, healthcare, employment, and basic social services. Some of these hurdles are rooted in structural, social, political, and cultural systems. Others stem from institutional and attitudinal barriers that lead to exclusion and unequal access to opportunities. Assenting to the Persons with Disabilities Bill into law, it concludes the long journey of repealing the Persons with Disabilities Act number 14 of 2003, and marks the beginning of a vital progression towards promoting and safeguarding the rights of citizens living with disability. This law is both progressive in scope and progressive in vision. It affirms the rights of persons with disabilities to education, employment, healthcare, political participation, and access to buildings and built environments. It also mandates stronger enforcement mechanisms, clearer accountability, and enhances representation of persons with disabilities in both national and county governance structures. Beyond giving fuller expression to Article 54 of the Constitution, the highlights in the new framework includes a restructured National Council for Persons with Disability, devolution of functions related to persons with disabilities, recognition and support to caregivers, greater access to justice, and enhanced legal frameworks in respect of people living with disabilities, and robust economic safeguards. This includes exemptions and incentives for the benefits of persons living with disabilities to foster greater economic and financial resilience and to mitigate vulnerability. Additionally, the law fortifies the legal framework protecting the rights of persons with disabilities by offering clearer definitions, strengthening protections against discrimination, and mandating the implementation of affirmative action measures across various sectors. With the signing of this law, ladies and gentlemen, the real work now begins. Its full promise cannot be realized by the National Council for Persons Living with Disabilities or the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection alone. It will require collective action by all stakeholders, including national and county governments, legislators, civil society, the private sector, and all Kenyans of goodwill. I assure you that the government of Kenya is fully committed to translating the provisions of this law into tangible improvements in the lives and welfare of persons living with disability. As part of our efforts to strengthen disability inclusion in the public sector, I direct the Public Service Performance Management Unit of the Public Service Commission to reinstate the disability mainstreaming performance indicators in performance contracting. This indicator is crucial for evaluating and holding institutions accountable for their inclusivity, making disability mainstreaming a measurable and essential component of institutional performance. Finally, let me express my gratitude to the Honorable Senator Pamela Asigi. Crystal Asigi, and she's in our midst. Crystal Asigi, congratulations. You have done the best for the people living with disability in Kenya, for the people of Kenya, and for humanity. Let us give her a round of applause. Again, Crystal Asigi, to you and to the many who have made significant contribution to the finalization of this bill, including members of parliament in both chambers, and the organizations and individuals who tirelessly championed this cause. My very best wishes, and again, congratulations, and thank you very much for the efforts, for the commitment you have demonstrated, for the sacrifices you have made, for the many long hours you have put into developing this bill, and for the consensus you have forged to be able to find common ground from all sectors to facilitate the passage of this bill. And I proudly signed it today into law, knowing very well that many Kenyans of goodwill have the blessing of this bill. You have made history. I also extend my appreciation to Kenyans with disability who have waited patiently for this moment. Your relentless advocacy has borne fruit, and today you can rightfully savor the rewards of your efforts. And from my desk, let me say to all the people, fellow citizens living with disability in Kenya, this framework provides a robust, inclusive framework that provides all the necessary incentives, necessary safeguards to make sure people living with disabilities live their full lives as the rest of society. And the ministry concerned, the Ministry of Labor, will take lead, while all of us, both national and county governments, will play our role, and all other institutions will take their place in making sure that we execute the provisions of this framework and make people living with disability in Kenya proud. Thank you very much. My very best wishes. Asanteni sana. I think we are good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the rest can sit down. Christina. See in what way?
Thank you, Your Excellency. And that now brings us to the end of this particular session. Thank you.